What's up guys, John Bird III here. We're back again for another video. And in today's video, we're going with part 2 of the Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale. And in this sale, you're able to get your reels for 20% off. The sale started November 22nd and it's gonna run through December 3rd. So you can get 20% off all reels. And there's some other things mentioned on there, but I'm focusing on the reels today because my last video, we talked about the rods. I gave you my top 5 luge rods you need to have in your arsenal. So today I'm going to give you my top 5 luge reels to add in your arsenal. I might even throw in a few extra. But without further ado, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever a new video hits the channel. But let's jump right into it. So I'm going to start off with spinning reels. So let me give you two options. Custom light spinning reel, custom light shallow spool spinning reel. These are the two main spinning reels that I use the most. What is the biggest difference for these reels? This one you get it in a 200 and 300 yard size. This one you only get in a 200 size, but it has a shallow spool. So what does that mean? This reel you will put backing on, this reel you won't. And this is my go-to reel. Like, this is probably my favorite spinning reel in my entire arsenal. And I use this one over the traditional custom light, but there's really no wrong answer. Again, this will just save you money as far as not having to worry about putting backing on your reel. The drag is super smooth. I use this primarily for a drop shot. So I put a 3/8 ounce weight teardrop, Strike King tungsten weight on there. Make a long cast. I promise you, you're not going to spool it. You won't have to worry about any of that. So don't let the shallow spool fool you. And like I said, the drag is super duper smooth. You can hear that. Drag super smooth. And I love this reel. Even though I'm not a spinning reel guy, this is a great reel to have in your arsenal. And they only retail for $159. So this is a great reel to have. And again, with 20% off, I mean, hey, you're getting $32 off of this reel right now during the Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale. So definitely check it out. It's definitely worth adding to your arsenal. Those are the only spinning reels I'm going to mention in this video. But we're going to get into these bait casters because that's where my bread and butter is. I have other spinning reels, but that reel right there, Custom Light Shots, was my primary reel that I use the most because out of all the spinning reel techniques, I'm primarily throwing the drop shot. So I'm not pinging them in on stuff, but I have other reels that I use for that. But anyway, we get into these bait casters because that's where my bread and butter is. So the first one I'm going to pick up is the $99 Speed Spool. So this one is the Gen 2 model. Tackle Warehouse already has the Gen 3 model in stock, so get your hands on the Gen 3 model. The Gen 3 is awesome, but if you want to get the Gen 2, I mean, hey, it's not a bad reel either. They both are great. They're not pretty looking reels. There's nothing fancy about them. They're just very simple reels that you can beat to death and they will always run. You won't have an issue with them. And that is what I love about these reels. You set your gas pedal, you set your brake pedal, and go to town. So I have two in 7.5 to 1, and I have another one in 6.8 to 1. So the 6.8 to 1, that's a cranking reel. But overall, you can do anything with the $99 Speed Spool. Definitely a great reel to add to your arsenal. Especially if you're a new beginner and you don't want to spend a whole lot of money, get this reel. I promise you. The best $100 reel on the market, bar none. I don't care what nobody else says. Great reel to have in your arsenal. I caught a 6-pound on the new one. And I've caught other big ones on this one right here. So again, this is how I always tell anybody that I talk to about the reel. If I'm on a budget, I'm gonna get the $99 Speed Spool. If I'm not on a budget, it's another reel that I'm gonna mention down here that I'm gonna use the most. But again, tried and true. You can throw this in the middle of a war, roll over it with a tank, pick it up, and just go fishing. It's gonna run. I mean, ain't no stopping this reel right here. So definitely check out the $99 Speed Spool. My next option. It's going to be a specialty reel, as I would say. So that is the Team Loose Pro SP. It's always good to have a shallow spool reel in your arsenal, especially if you live on the lake, like let's say like Norman, Greenwood, Murray, a lake that has a lot of docks, Hartwell, and you like to fish docks with a jig. This is a great reel to have. But if you live in like those areas that I would call them like maybe marshy, your low country area, so like Santee Cooper, some of the lakes down in Louisiana and stuff like that. This is a great reel for pitching and flipping in between those tight quarter cypress trees. Get into some good close quarter combat, CQB as I like to say it. And 40 yards, a 20-pound line. That is a lot of line for this little reel. Now, some people think 40 yards, like I can outcast all of that. You won't. Trust me, you won't. The only way you're gonna spool this reel is if you don't have enough line on there. But if you fill it up like you're supposed to, I promise you, you will not spool this reel. 20 pounds of drag. It's a great reel to have in your arsenal. And retail price is $199, so 200 bucks. So with the Tackle Warehouse sale, take $40 off, you get it for $160. That's a great deal to me. So definitely check this reel out right here. This reel right here is worth it. Like small, compact frame, but it's built for the heavy duty stuff. But I got some buddies that like to do some, I don't want to call it finesse fishing, but like throwing like a weightless caffeine shad or something like that. You can do that on this reel as well. But 20 pounds of line that I put on here, 20-pound fluorocarbon, and I just go to town. Skipping, pitching, flipping. That's what this reel is for. Now, I'm going to take you a step up from the $99 Speed Spool. It's really like 2 steps up. But this reel right here is awesome. It's like one of my favorite reels. And that's the Team Lose Tournament Pro. 200 bucks. This reel right here, if you built an arsenal off of this reel right here, I promise you, you will be very, very satisfied. So you're getting 3 gear ratios, 6/8, 7/5, and 8/3. So you got your cranking setups right there with the 6/8s or your spinner baits. For you guys who like to use a slower gear ratio with spinner baits, you got your 7/5, which is your do all gear ratio in my opinion, and then you got your 8/3s. That's your flipping, that's your frogging, that's all of that stuff right there. Anything you got to burn real fast, even burning a trap or something like that. So with one reel platform, you can buy them in all 3 different gear ratios and build an entire arsenal off of the Tournament Pro. And I'm telling you, that is a sweet reel to have in your arsenal. So I've thrown swim worms on this. I've thrown bladed jigs on this. I've flipped with it. I've done a lot of stuff with this reel. Thrown a hybrid hunter on this thing. And I mean, again, it's just a reel that just runs. So biggest difference, if you're trying to compare this reel to the little brother, the $99 Speed Spool, you can get a clicking gas pedal or clicking tensioner knob. You got your external brake dial, but this one has the ACB brakes in there. So the braking system is better than the actual $99 Speed Spool, and it's a tad bit lighter. And so, but also it holds a little bit more line compared to $99 Speed Spool. But again, you ain't gonna use all the line capacity that's on this reel anyway, so it don't even really matter. But again, great reel to have in your arsenal. I love this frame right here, this LFS frame. It feels good in my hand, and this reel just runs. That's the only way that I can explain it. There are plenty of guys that I know that I've seen comment and talk about this reel right here, the Tournament Pro. Best $200 reel on the market. So I got a video talking about the $99 Speed Spool, which is the best $100 reel on the market. And I got a video of the Tournament Pro talking about the best $200 reel on the market. And I'm telling you, both of these reels right here can compete against any reel in their class, outperform them, and I promise you, you will never have any issues with these things. So love the Tournament Pro, great reel to have. Again, at 200 bucks, you're gonna save yourself $40. I mean, $160, I promise you. Pick this reel up. Matter of fact, pick up a couple. That way you have one in 6/8, one in 7/5, and one in 8/3. You're good to go. All right, what's gonna be my next reel that I'm gonna talk about here? Let's go up a little bit in price point. The Custom Light, $299. This reel is the lightest reel that I have in my arsenal, weighing in at 4.8, 4.9 ounces. Super duper light. So it has the Tanzo Tech carbon frame. So that means that it's super lightweight. That's what makes it so light, because of the frame material. This reel right here, and I actually got another one on order, so I'm waiting on that to get here. It might be here like Monday. But this reel right here, I throw a lot of light crankbaits with it, like a lot of smaller crankbaits. It only comes in 1 gear ratio, 7/5 to 1, but I've thrown a lot of small crankbaits with it. I've thrown jerk baits with this thing. Anything lightweight, caffeine shads, anything like that, you can throw with this thing and you can bomb it. Also, I've thrown the new Strike King Evader top water bait on this thing, bomb cast. So definitely worth adding it. The next one that I got coming into my arsenal, and I'll do a video on that, I'm going back to my bread and butter. And if anybody knows me and knows how I first got into bass fishing, what the technique that I like to throw a lot, that is what I'm going to use this reel for. But stay tuned for the next video when I talk about that in detail. So definitely pick this up. I mean, again, $299 for 300 bucks, so you save yourself 60 bucks, so you get it for 240. I mean, this is a great reel to have. Light Texas rigs, throwing little small crankbaits, small jigs, caffeine shafts, or any type of weightless fluke style, soft jerk bait type deals, jerk baits, all of that stuff. Like, this reel right here is the way to go. And there also is, just for reference, there's a shallow spool version of this. Now, the biggest comparison between this and the Pro SP is you can't put big line on this one. This reel right here is designed for 8-pound. Let's say 6 to 12-pound fluorocarbon. More so that sweet spot is like that 8 to 10. And you can get 40 yards of that on here, and I promise you, it will be great. I've even put some 8-pound braid. No, I had 12-pound braid to an 8-pound fluorocarbon lever, and I skipped a wacky rig with this reel on Santee Cooper. So if you don't want a full-size reel, get you a custom light shallow spool bait cast reel for BFS techniques, and also anything super finesse you can do with this reel. But I'm talking about the big brother. So either way, great option. They both the same price. It just, what are you looking to add to your arsenal during this time frame? Because this is the time for you to branch out and try new things with this sale. So if you're thinking about getting into BFS, or you just don't want to use spinning reels no more, check this reel out. This is a great reel to add to the arsenal. All right. So we talked about the Pro SP, $99 speed spool, Tournament Pro, and the custom light bait cast reels. So I'm going to give you the next reel that you should definitely add to your arsenal. And then I'm going to throw in 2 honorable mentions. And why are they honorable mentions? They're at, I guess you could say, a very higher price point, but they're definitely worth talking about. All right, so the next reel is Team Lou's Custom Pro. Love this reel. So I've done a video on it. I'm not gonna go too in depth with it, but again, you need to check out the new Custom Pro. So this is the Gen 2 version right here. This is Gen 3. So biggest difference is 2 different style of frames. So the new one has a smaller frame, but also the new one has a better braking system than this one. The new one has the Paramac ITB braking system. And so what the Paramac ITB is, it's basically a braking system that is controlled by a ring that moves in and out like this. And the brakes face up, where your traditional brakes face the inside of the actual wall of the side plate. The brakes actually face up. And so with that ring moving in and out, you're actually getting way more contact of the brakes with that ring in there. So it's a very, very cool braking system, but I promise you, it helps you minimize backlashes. You get this reel dialed into whatever technique you're using, whether it's small crankbaits, light Texas rigs, half-ounce jigs, whatever. When you dial this sucker in, I promise you, backlashes go way down. But same thing goes for this one. It's not the same braking system as this, but again, you dial this sucker in, you can bomb cast a lot of stuff and not have to worry about backlashes. So I really enjoy fishing with this one. If you can get your hands on this one, definitely check it out. But if you can't, get the new Custom Pro. It's definitely worth having in your arsenal. I have 2 of these. So you see this one, I got braid on, so frogs, anything like that. My other one, Texas rigs, anything I need it for. They're workhorse reels. 3 gear ratios, 6.8, 7.5, and 8.3. But let me say this, for my left-handed guys, the only gear ratio you're going to be able to get this one in is 7.5 to 1. So I know that sucks because you might want them and try them in different gear ratios, but 7.5, let's just be honest, 7.5, you can do a lot with 7.5. So check this out. This is probably the best reel to pick up right now. I promise you. Like, I got 2 more on order right now. So waiting on those to come in as well. Now, my 2 honorable mentions. Why are they honorable mentions? As I said before, they're more on the higher price point. So we're going to start with the one that is a little bit cheaper than the other. That is the Gen 2 Hypermag. I mean, what can't I say about this reel? So comes in at 5.2 ounces, magnesium frame, easy to dial in, long cast, and it just runs, right? You only come in 2 gear ratios, 7.5 and 8.3. So which one you should get? Get both. No, I'm just playing. Don't get both. But if you can, get both. So this priced at $349 $49.99. So you'll save $70 off if you bought this reel right now during the Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale. And I forgot to mention, with the Custom Pros, they're $279.99. So you'll save $54 on the Custom Pros if you got that right then. And then again, with the Hypermax, they are $349.99. So you'll save yourself about $70 on this reel. So if you pay attention to the rod, Super Duty rod, you can probably guess what I'm gonna throw on this. The Hybrid Hunter. If you know about Todd's setup, he uses this rod to throw the Hybrid Hunter on the 7.6 medium heavy fast. But again, I've thrown swim worms, Hybrid Hunters. I've done a lot with this reel. It's beat up, scratched up, but I mean, I really don't care because these reels, rods, they're tools. So this is one of the reels I just definitely wanted to mention and put out there because it's a great reel if you can afford it, right? I don't want to talk about super high-end stuff because there's a lot of people that can't afford some of this higher end stuff. But I definitely, for the guys that can, I definitely want to just put this out there for you to check out. So definitely get your hands on Hypermax if you can afford it. If it's in your budget, it's worth it. And the last one is a reel that I've had in my arsenal. Well, I've had the first generation of it in my arsenal for the last 4 years. Team Lose Pro TI. Man, this reel is it's top 3 in my arsenal all time. Top 3. Bladed jigs. This is my bladed jig reel. I got 2 Gen 2s right here. I throw all kind of stuff on these reels. I've thrown jerkbait, bladed jigs, light Texas rigs. I mean, they are do-all reels in my opinion. These reels are $399.99, so $400. So you're gonna save yourself $80 on this reel. So you basically get this reel for $320. That is a freaking steal for this reel right here. I mean, it's the holidays, it's Christmas, early Christmas present. The Pro TI is the deal. Love fishing this reel. Love the frame, the new frame compared to the old one. I mean, I love the old frame. The old frame is the same frame as the Tournament Pro $99 Speed Spool. One of my favorite frames, but the new frame is slick. Very, very slick. No pun intended. And it's not gonna slip out of your hands, but it's slick looking and it's super cool. The purple accents, the black, the chrome, like this is the deal. So if you can fudge a little bit, get the Pro TI. It's worth it. It's worth every penny. Love that reel. Never had any issues out of my Gen 2s. This is the exact one that I've had since 2020. Got the reel knob super dirty. Like, I've done a lot with this reel. And I still use it a lot. So, definitely worth having it. But that's it for today's video. Those are my top 5 reels in the entire Lose lineup that I love, that I definitely recommend that you get during the Tackle Warehouse Black Friday sale, where you can save yourself 20% off. Again, whether it's the $99 Speed Spool or whether it's the Pro TI, Tournament Pro, Custom Pro, Custom Light, it don't even matter. Whatever you can afford, definitely go out there, check them out, because those reels right there are essentially, those are my bread and butter reels, the reels that I use the most. So that's it for today's video. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys checking out the video on today. I got to get back to living the dream. I'll catch you later.